Hi friends, how are you? It is 12:01 here in Arizona, and I apologize because my allergies are kind of bad today. Um, we were putting stuff back up in the attic, and so I got a lot of dust on me. And anyway, I didn't tell y'all about that, did I? So, not last night, but the night before, I was getting ready for bed, and I was like, oh my gosh, it is so not is so, but I was like, oh, it's a little warmer than it usually is. So I went and checked the thermostat, and the screen on the thermostat was completely off. And I was like, what is going on? So I checked my app for my thermostat on my phone, and it said it wasn't connected, like it wasn't connected to my thermostat. And I was like, what's going on? So my husband and we looked up troubleshooting for our thermostat, and it wasn't working. So we put in a work order, and thankfully they were able to get somebody to come between 10 and 2. And then that person got here and they checked, and they're like, well, we think this is what it is. They had checked like up in the attic. They checked, oh, that's what the whole attic thing comes into play. So my husband, when we were looking at troubleshooting things, he was like, you know what? Let me check the attic. Let me check the AC handler, all this other stuff. So we like did everything that we could. And he was like, you know what? I guess we're just going to have to call somebody because we weren't able to fix it with troubleshooting things. So he was like, all right, we're going to get stuff out of the attic. That way there's room and it's easier for the technician to come and like get in the attic and stuff. So I helped him bring stuff down. Well, he got him into the attic. He handed stuff down to me. Thankfully, the first technician came over and he was like, it might be your transformer. And if your transformer is not under warranty, we can fix it, but it'll probably be like $1,000. So we were like, oh man, we don't really want to be paying $1,000 right now. So we were like, hopefully an electrician can fix it. So we got an electrician to come, because this guy was like just like an AC guy or something. So then he was like, all right, well, the electrician will be here between such and such time. The electrician comes and he looks at the fuse box and he's like, no, there's plenty of power going to your AC. So I don't know what the problem is. And he called my husband while he had discussed things with me. But I was like, can you call my husband and talk to him so we were on speakerphone so that my husband could know what was going on. So the guy, he's like, well, I looked at your fuse box, or actually before he looked at the fuse box, he's like, well, if I look at your fuse box, that's like $29, and if I go into the attic, that'll like go up to like $300. So and then he asked, well, is your stuff under warranty? We're like, we don't know. We're trying to figure that out. We're calling the builders. So he looks at the box and he checks it. And he's like, no, there's plenty of power going into your fuse box. That's not the problem. And then he said, do you have a ladder accessible? I'll just go up and check real quick in the attic. I won't even charge you. I just want to go see what's going on. And I was like, are you sure you're not going to charge me like $300? He's like, no. He's like, I'll just go up there real quick. And I was like, okay, yeah, we left the ladder out. So I get the ladder for him, show him where the attic is. And he's like, I'm going to go get my own ladder. Your ladder's a little too rickety. So I was like, okay. So he goes up into the attic, y'all. In like a few minutes, he comes down and he's like, there was a loose wire. I tightened it. It should work. And it worked, y'all. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Like a loose wire. So I asked him, I said, well, my husband, because I was texting him as well, I was like, he said he's going to go up and check and he's not going to charge us $300. He's like, oh, well, that's nice. I was like, yeah. So, the electrician, and then my husband says, well, we've lived here like 2.5 years. Why is there a loose wire now? Or why is it just now that it's, showing up? So I asked the electrician, and he said, well, electrical wires vibrate when they're being used. And so throughout time, since that wire was loose or it wasn't tightened, he's like, it just kind of came undone. So I just tightened it for you. And I said, well, is that going to happen again? And he said, well, it's not going to happen right away, like right now, but in a few years, maybe, but it should be good. I tightened the wire down. I was like, oh, wow. Well, thank you so much. So that's why we need like tradespeople, because y'all, my husband, like, he's not an electrician and he tried all of the troubleshooting things, but there's just some things that tradespeople, like, they just know. And this electrician, like, he knew exactly. And I think he probably, after he saw the fuse box, he was probably like, it's like some dumb thing, some dumb easy thing that I could just get done right now, instead of them having to go through even more troubles. Which I don't know if maybe because my kids were in the house and they were like, just, even the dog was like panting because it was like hot in the house. It was like 91 degrees inside the whole place. And I don't know if he just felt sorry for us and he didn't want us to have to like wait for like the builders to like get in contact with us. But y'all, in just like a minute, he was like done. And he had, anyways, our house is now nice and cool. But back to my story about my allergies. We had pulled all of that stuff out of the attic so that they would have easy access to the attic and the AC handler or whatever is up there. I don't even know. I have never been up to our attic, and I will never go up there. Yeah. So anyway, so today, so that was yesterday, and then today we finally got everything back up into the attic. My husband got home from work, and then I was handing him stuff, but as I was giving him stuff, like, I guess some dust from up there like came down on our heads. Like, my daughter was holding the ladder, my other daughter was handing me bins, and then I was like climbing up halfway on the ladder and handing up to my husband. And at one point, my oldest, who was holding the ladder, she's like, something got on my head. And I was like, oh, it's just dust. But ever since that dust, and now I'm all full of allergies. So it's kind of, it's kind of frustrating. These allergies. So anyways, that's it. And I was on here a lot longer than I thought I was going to be. Y'all, I meant to be on here sooner, but because I discovered, well, not discovered, so I had seen that there's this cool light show in my car, but I hadn't tried the feature. And today I tried it earlier, like, I don't know, at about 8, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. But I was gonna go out, and I was like, I'm just gonna go and do that live later, in a cool parking lot outside. But then when I got to my destination tonight, I realized that there's like street lights and it wasn't as cool. So you'll have to wait, and I'll show you guys that light show maybe tomorrow night. But it was so fun. I tried it out and I came inside the house and I told my kids, oh my gosh, Ruby is so cool. She just did this awesome light show for me and I loved it. So anyways, but now for reals, good night, y'all. I am going to go to bed because my allergies are pretty bad. And I just want to go to bed. I've already taken like 2 Claritins within the last 2 hours, 4 hours, and I'm still feeling miserable. So hopefully tomorrow morning I wake up with no allergies. But right now I'm just gonna go to bed. So thank y'all so much for being here with me. Again, I'm Laylina, your friendly pharmacy influencer, and sorry that this live is so late. I know I was gonna do it every single day, and because I haven't gone to bed yet, I'm still counting this for Thursday, even though it is already now 12:11, so 10 minutes since the time I started my live. So it's technically Friday, but since I haven't gone to bed yet, I'm counting this as Thursday's live. So have a wonderful night, y'all, and I will definitely talk to you again tomorrow. Bye.